Good morning, everyone, and welcome to First in the Family. It is our pleasure to welcome you and your first generation student virtually to the U. My name is Whitley Johnson, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Director for Empower Me First, our academic support program for first generation students on campus. And joining us today is Bobby Gallagher, a graduate student and graduate assistant for Empower Me First in the Office of Academic Enhancement, Christian Garcia, Associate Dean and Executive Director of the Toppel Career Center, and Christopher Magnan, Senior Advisor for Financial Literacy Education and Outreach, and he is also the manager of our Money Management Program. So we're excited to speak with you today. Empower Me First is our academic support initiative for our first generation students on campus. We have 18% first gen undergraduate students, so over 1,800 students on campus identify as being first generation, and we support them in overall 4 major ways. So in academic support, general supplemental advising, resource referral, and also programs and workshops. So we host programs at least once a month with students, and we also have general and one-on-one advising. And so we are here overall to help support your student transition to college and through to graduation. So excited to be a part of that journey. So what is first generation at the U? So at the University of Miami, we define a first generation student as a domestic student whom neither parent or legal guardian has earned a college degree. So if you or no one in your family has earned a degree, we would consider your student to be a first generation college student, with the exception of whether the student has a sibling who has obtained their degree. So if the student has a sibling who is currently attending college or who has graduated from college, but their parent does not have a 4-year college degree, they are still considered first generation. If you happen to be in college as well as your student at the same time, you both are considered to be first generation, and your student would still be considered first generation at the U. And so next we'll have Bobby Gallagher speak to you about the services we provide.
Thank you, Whitley. My name is Bobby Gallagher, and I'm the graduate assistant for EMF. This is my 2nd year in grad school. Last year, I was the graduate assistant for residential college advising, so I had the privilege to work with the Office of Academic Enhancement as well. And I did my undergraduate here at the University of Miami, where I got to experience all of these campus resources and fantastic people myself. And so now I'm working to become a double cane. So at EMF, we have a variety of different services. We work on enhancing time management skills through one-on-one and group advising. Group advising is a new way to connect and assist students. We work to customize a schedule for each student that will balance their courses and other commitments. We also develop academic success plans and study plans. We work with individuals in advising sessions to help the students create these in a way that will be most effective and helpful for them. We also refer students to appropriate campus resources. We have an organized referral process, and we work to send students to the exact resource that they need. There are many campus resources, such as the Camner Center, which offers free tutoring, the Counseling Center, which offers counseling, of course, but also will help students create schedules, manage their time better, and any other challenges that they could be facing. As a student here, I utilized many of the campus resources constantly and continue to do so even as a graduate student. So I can vouch for how fantastic they are. We also outreach with campus partners. We have close relations to campus partners, as I mentioned, and soon you'll be hearing from the Toppel Career Center and the Office of Financial Aid, who both have many fantastic resources, and we collaborate with these partners during the year, such as preparing students for Toppel's Career Expo or partnering with the LGBTQ Center to do student training. And of course, we have our mentoring program, which Whitley Johnson will now go over. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby. So our mentoring program is about 3 years old. The Empower Me First mentoring program supports first generation students in expanding their network. both on campus and beyond. And so we have a faculty staff model where we pair faculty and staff with one-on-one with our first generation students. You can be of any year, so you can be an incoming student all the way up to a senior to participate in this program. We have an application process that launches every August, and you're able to have your mentor throughout the full year. And so students and their faculty or staff member meet once a month, and you share career goals. They can be personal goals, but it adds an extra layer of support to their student experience. So while a student has an academic advisor in their school or college, and they also have their Empower Me First advisor, this is someone else who maybe they otherwise may not have met on campus. And so when the student fills out their application, they actually tell us how they would like to be matched. So maybe they want to be matched with someone by their hometown or home state. Maybe it's by someone who's familiar with their career path or with their major. So we have a lot of great experiences and a lot of success stories with those. So we have folks all the way from the president's office to our Erasmus campus, the medical campus, who participate in this program. And the faculty staff member may be first generation college graduates, like some of the presenters you will meet today, and some are not first generation, but they're very excited to support that student population on campus and to mentor our students. And so next we have Christian Garcia from the Toppel Career Center.
Good morning, everyone. As Willie said, my name is Christian Garcia. I'm the Associate Dean and Executive Director for the Toppel Career Center. I've been with the university for 19 years now, and although I did not graduate from the university, I feel like I'm a Cane through and through because I've been there for so long and I absolutely love it. One of the things I'm most proud of in my entire career and life is that I am also a first generation college student, the first to go to college in my family. And hopefully it's something that you're proud of and you will continue being proud of because it's a big deal. But I think back to my time in college, and I wish that we had a lot of the resources that we're going to be talking about today from my perspective in terms of the Career Center, but also I know my colleague Chris will talk about the money matters and financial management. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Toppel Career Center. What is the Toppel Career Center? So the Toppel Career Center is there to serve all students, undergraduate and graduate, when it comes to life after college. And we know that that means many different things to many different people. So for some of you, you're going to want to go on and get that first job immediately after college, right? I'm sure the parents who are watching this are going to want their son or daughter to go, get their degree and go on and make lots of money, right? And that's wonderful. We want that. Some of you may want to extend your career, your education. My example, I knew that I wanted to get a master's degree right after college, so I went straight through. So we, as a Career Center, help with all of those and everything in between. We also know that some students like to take a year off, what we call a gap year, to either travel or maybe do some volunteer work, whether it's with the Peace Corps or AmeriCorps. We help with all of those processes. So that's what the Toppel Career Center is, and I'm going to get into a little bit more detail. In terms of when you can use this, you're probably thinking, gosh, 4 years, that's a long time. I have time to worry about my career. Well, you'll be surprised how quickly those 4 years will go. I think about my college career a long time ago. And I remember, the one thing I do remember is how fast it went. And so my advice to you, my advice to all students is to not wait until your junior year or senior year to start using the Career Center and to start thinking about your career. We know that the students, and research shows that students who are successful in securing their career outcomes after college are the ones who started engaging with their Career Center early on. So even though it may seem like a long time and you're worried probably now about starting, the university, starting school, getting to meet people, taking classes, learning new study habits, all those things are really critical, but you should still start thinking about your career and start taking little steps toward achieving your goals. So in terms of, I want you to walk away from this presentation about the Career Center remembering a few things. And there's 3 words I would like you to remember. That's explore, prepare, connect. Pretty simple, right? So when you think about our services and resources, if you break them into those 3 kind of buckets, it helps you kind of understand how to navigate this thing we call career. So let's start with explore. So some of you probably have know exactly what it is you want to major in. You know that you want to be this kind of, you want this career, and you've known that throughout your entire life. And that's fantastic. But there's also some of you who are like, I have no idea what I want to do. And that is absolutely okay. We actually love working with undecided students or undeclared students because it's like a blank canvas and we can help with that. So when it comes to explore, we help students with choosing a major, and we do that in a variety of ways. We offer a variety of career assessments that you can take and that you have access to online, and you'll have our website in a little while. That allow you to kind of learn a little bit more about yourself, your personality, your interests, your skills, your aptitudes. And based on how you fill out those, how you respond to those assessments, it'll give you options for different careers for you to explore, which may help you kind of choose a major. We also have some values-based assessments because we know that our values are really intertwined with who we are as people, but then also how that relates to our potential future career. And I say career, but really I should be saying careers, because right now we know that students are not going to have just one job. You don't just start one job and retire from it 30 years later or 40 years later. No, you most likely will have numerous jobs and probably a variety of careers. That's what the future of work is telling us right now. Another way to explore is by finding other people who have been in your shoes. So, we mentioned the mentoring program. That's a great way to start exploring careers. So if you want to connect with other folks who are first gen college students who are, let's say you're interested in advertising, that's a great opportunity for you to kind of pick their brain. Kind of, what is it that, tell me about this advertising career. What are things that I should be doing now to start gaining experience and insight into that career? Maybe you want to meet with, let's say you're a female student, you want to meet with a successful, female entrepreneur. We can help make those matches for you, either through the Empower Me First mentorship program, but we also have what we call Cane to Cane, which is our online mentoring platform, which connects you with successful alumni in a variety of different fields. The other thing I want to mention is that careers don't necessarily lead, or sorry, majors don't necessarily lead to specific careers. Now, some of them do. So for instance, if you want to be an architect, you're going to need an architecture degree. And that's for the good of all of us. We don't need people out there designing buildings that don't know about architecture. So yeah, there are certain fields like architecture, like engineering, where you need that particular major discipline to be able to do that career. However, we know that people are doing things that seemingly have nothing to do with what they studied in college. If you look at college and your major as kind of a foundation, kind of a building, foundation, a framework for what your life will be in the future. If you think about it that way, it frees you to really look at a number of careers that are available to you now and that will be available in the future that currently don't even exist right now. If you think about social media even 10 years ago, there was no social media, right? Or it was just at its infancy. And now look how we can't imagine living our lives without social media and all the careers that social media has spawned. We know that this will continue happening in all facets of life and in the workplace. So don't pigeonhole yourself when it comes to major, that you have to do this major to do this, this particular career. And we do have a resource called What Can I Do With My Major? And it really shows you a vast array of different things. So that's the explore. The next part is prepare. Remember, that's the second word. So we help with the nuts and bolts of preparing you for your career. And that includes, obviously, resume writing. And we recommend that students update their resume at least once a semester. Because as you know, and we hope that you'll start getting involved on campus with clubs and organizations, taking on leadership roles. These are things that you definitely want to include on your resume because it's what employers really are attracted to. We help students with interview preparation. I always ask the question when I'm in a group of people or making a presentation, how many of you think you're great at interviews? And 9 times out of 10, I would say probably 80% of the people raise their hands. Well, I would probably say that maybe 20% are excellent at interviews. And that's okay. That's not saying anything bad. I think that it's kind of a muscle. You have to keep exercising that muscle. I've been in this job for 19 years. I think about, God, if I had to interview for a job now, I would have to probably use my own services so I could kind of, hone in or kind of improve my interview skills because I've been out of practice, right? We also help, as I mentioned, with graduate school. So whether that's writing a personal statement, doing the research on what it means to get into graduate school, all the testing, We're not going to take the test for you, but we'll tell you which test you need to take and all that. Another part of preparing is internships. And I'm sure a lot of you have already heard this word many, many times. Some of you have maybe already participated in an internship during high school. But one of the biggest things you don't want to do, or the biggest mistakes that we see people make, is waiting until their junior year to think about internships. It's never too early to start an internship. Well, maybe not your first semester of your college career. We want you to kind of get your bearings. But think of internships as building blocks. Think of it as test driving a car. You would never buy a car without test driving it. Well, we don't want you to go into a career without testing it, seeing if it's for you. When I started college, I wanted to be a broadcast journalism major. Wanted to do this since I was a kid. And when I started test driving, I realized this is not for me. Thank God I did that, because if not, imagine the amount of time, money, and heartache I would have caused myself if I would have ended up in a career that I wasn't that jazzed about. So those are some of the ways to prepare. The last one is connect. One of the things that we help students with a lot, and I've discussed this a little bit, is connecting with people who could provide you with knowledge, insight, advice, connecting you to other people, connecting you to jobs and internships. And we do that in a number of ways. I mentioned the Cane to Cane mentoring platform. We have our Career Expo, which we do twice a year, once in September, once in February, I believe. This fall will be all virtual, but it's a way to really connect with employers representing a variety of industries about jobs and internships. So we help students connect with employers, but also with alumni and other people who can help them with their career. So as I conclude, one of the things I always like to tell students is, if you think about the Career Center as a gym, a gym, right? You won't see results. You can be a member of a gym, but you won't see results if you don't go, right? So if you think about the Career Center in the same way, it's not an additional charge for you. All the services that we offer are free, but we're not going to come to you. We're not going to wake you up in the morning and say, hey, come on, let's help you with your career. You need to take that step, and we're going to help you along the way. So make sure you use our services. One of the first ways to do that is to activate your Handshake account, which is a platform, an online platform that helps you find jobs, internships. You can post your resume. You can connect with other students on there. It's absolutely free. Think of it as a LinkedIn, but for college students. We also have drop-in advising without an appointment anytime via Zoom. And you can access that through our website, which is hireacane.com. And that's hire, H-I-R-E, acane.com. Really, that's the thing you need to remember, because once you go to hireacane.com, it gives you access to all the different things that I've talked about and much, much more. So with that, I want to thank you all for your attention, and I want to say congratulations to your to starting your college career. This is such an exciting time for you. We're really excited to have you. Please know that I am a resource to you personally. If I could ever be of assistance to you, you can always reach out to me directly. My email is very easy. It's just my first name, christian@miami.edu. I'd love to meet you all, even if it is virtually. And hope to see you eventually in person soon. So with that, I'm going to transition to my colleague, Chris Magnan.
Thank you very much, Christian. Again, my name's Chris Magnan. I'm the Senior Advisor for Financial Literacy Education at the university. I oversee the university's money management program, and I work out of the Office of Student Financial Assistance and Employment, otherwise known as the Financial Aid Office. I am also a first-generation student. I am number 11 out of 12 children. My parents didn't make it to college, but several of us did. But being a first-generation student was a challenge for us. My parents couldn't afford to figure out how to pay for a college education. I knew throughout my entire life that I was going to be on my own when it comes to figuring out how I'm going to pay for college or even go to college, because I knew my parents had to keep a roof over our heads and food on the table, but couldn't afford to pay for 12 kids' college educations. So that was a challenge, and I'm sure many of you are experiencing similar challenges and may or may not be from an independently wealthy family. I was not. And what I do now out of the Office of Student Financial Assistance and Employment, the main part of my job is to help students become their best financial self through the money management program. Our department, the Office of Student Financial Assistance and Employment, is the financial aid office. We also have student employment as a portion of our department. And I'm going to touch a little bit on student employment in that many of you might be looking for student employment opportunities on campus and trying to figure out what's available and how do I get my work study job, because you may have work study as part of your financial aid awards. Well, if you do have work study as part of your financial aid awards and you've accepted that award, starting next week, you can start applying for jobs on campus through our JobX portal. You will get an email about this. You won't have to worry about memorizing any of these types of things. But if you accept your work study award, you will get an email about job opportunities and the fact that as of next week, you can start applying for jobs. There are online jobs, remote jobs that you can do if you've chosen to do the first semester in a remote capacity. There are on-campus jobs as well. And when you go onto JobX, it's miami.edu/JOBX. That is the student employment's job website. That is where all the jobs are listed, whether they are work study jobs or whether they're student employment jobs, student assistant positions, because not every job on campus is through the work study program. The work study program is a federally funded part-time job on campus that you get awarded as part of your financial aid. But there are other opportunities for student employment, about 40% more opportunities on campus or remote, in the form of what are called student assistant positions. And these are all on this JobX website. But as of next Monday, remember, as of next Monday is when you can start applying for jobs on campus. So if you're interested in finding out about jobs on campus, visit the miami.edu/JobX website. The main portion of our department and the big part of our department is the financial aid. You know, we are the people that help you get need-based financial aid. We didn't award you the merit awards that you may have gotten from the admissions department or any college or school-based awards that you may have received, but we do help with the need-based types of financial aid. And hopefully you've already been awarded financial aid as it relates to financial aid. If you have not yet been awarded financial aid, you're going to want to contact us. And contacting us isn't calling the financial aid office. Now we have what's called Kane Central. Kane Central is a service department that's been established, literally is just opening up this summer and went live a couple months ago remotely. Their office is going to be on campus as well, but they handle the student service components for the registrar's office, for the billing and student accounts office, and for the financial aid office. Their contact information is going to be at the end of one of the last slides. We'll share it in just a little bit. But the Kane Central office is the go-to office for anything relating to registrar services, billing, and financial aid. They also handle student IDs and things along those lines as well. But from as a student standpoint, the people that you're going to be working with the most are the registrar, billing, and us. So this service department is set up and ready to go for you. The contact information and how you get in touch with them is going to be in one of the last slides. Their phone number, if you needed to call at all, and it may not be in the slide, I don't think it is, the phone number for the Kane Central office is 305-284-IBIS, IBIS, which is our mascot, Sebastian. So 305-284-IBIS. If you needed to call and talk to somebody about registrar, billing, or financial aid services, that's the number you'd call. The email will be on the other slide as well. What my main focus is within the Office of Student Financial Assistance and Employment, you know, as I mentioned before, it's a money management program. It's a program where we teach students every aspect of personal finance to help them become their best financial self. We cover areas like developing credit, budgeting your money, trying to find a work-life and finances balance now that you're in college. We talk about investing. We talk about, you know, first-year college student finance. We talk about student loans. We cover every aspect of personal finance, and it's all free to our students. Throughout the first semester, we're going to be offering probably about 40 different Zoom sessions, and the schedule is going to be on our website, which is going to be advertised in the last slide, is one of the last slides of this presentation as well. But on our website, about August 15th, our fall term schedule of they're called money talks. All right, they're informal, I wouldn't say in-person sessions, but for the first semester, everything is going to be Zoom. But in the second semester, we're going to have a hybrid. We'll have some on campus, some Zoom sessions. And they're less than an hour each. You get a lot out of them. I tell everybody, choose the sessions that you learn that you know the least about. You know, because I don't think I've ever had anyone go to our sessions, walk out saying, oh my God, I learned nothing from that. And a lot of people, especially as a first generation student, they don't receive a lot of financial advice from their parents. You know, their parent might not be an accountant or a financial advisor or, you know, be that savvy. I know very successful parents who still go to their own financial advisor to get advice. But you can start developing that level of education in college at for free through what's called our Money Talk series. And the Money Talk series are those sessions that are going to be offered during the day and in the evenings via Zoom. And you're going to be seeing my face a lot because I do all of the money talks. And you're going to learn from me. And just, I don't, and I won't be preaching to you because I'm a real person. As I said, I come from a very large family. I made a lot of financial mistakes when I was in college. Why? Because I had nobody to give me guidance on this. I didn't know anything about credit. I didn't know anything about credit cards. But back when I was in college, I had every credit card under the sun. All right. I didn't pay my bills on time, didn't know what that meant. Credit in my mind was something that old people thought about. And that's not the reality of today. Okay. Credit's important. Money management is important. Understanding investing, setting goals for yourself. All of these types of things are critically important. And they're critical life skills that you need to learn at the college level. For the time that you're in college and for when you start your career and you start working with Christian and his team. And, you know, and start your full-time positions outside of the school. Some people start consulting with a financial advisor as they're graduating from college. And then it's a guessing game and they're running around. Where should I put my money? How should I do this? How should I do that? You should have a plan in place well before that. And the Money Talk series and our money management program and our website have a lot of resources available to you that you can utilize. As it relates to our department, you may have received you may have received a financial aid award, okay? As a first-generation student, many of your financial aid awards, you might have received a merit award from you might have received Coral Grant money from One thing that's really important for you all to know is that if your financial need stays the same and you meet the renewal criteria for these awards, you're gonna get the same level of financial aid every year for 4 years. So if you were like, wow, I got a lot more than I thought, or I got X amount of financial aid for this upcoming academic year, will I get that every single academic year? The answer is yes. If your level of financial need stays the same, yes, you will be getting that same level of financial aid each academic year. So if you got a Coral Grant, as an example, $20,000 this year, and a President's Scholarship, if your need stays the same next year and you meet the renewal criteria for your President's Scholarship or your Merit Award, then you are going to get that same level of financial aid. You do need to know, though, and understand what satisfactory academic progress is all about. You do need to meet certain standards to renew your awards. You have to meet certain academic standards. If you receive the Merit Award from the university, which many of you have, you will know that you have to have a 3.0 grade point average at the end of the academic year and earn 24 credits towards your degree. You might already know that. But that's just one renewal criteria for one type of financial aid. There are a whole bunch of different types of financial aid that you may receive, and each one has a different renewal criteria. Like if you're from the state of Florida and get Bright Futures or an Effective Access to Student Education Award, they have separate individual renewal criteria that you should learn about, and our website has that. Again, if you're not awarded financial aid yet, though, because the billing deadline, as you know, you might have just received your bill from the billing office, which is the Office of Student Account Services, and it may have received your financial aid may be on there. You have time to get your finances in order before the deadline, which is, I do believe, August 10th, okay? If you needed to apply for a loan, if you wanted to sign up on a payment plan, the Kane Central office is your go-to place. That's where you want to end up, that's who you would want to get in touch with, whether it be to just sign up on a monthly payment plan, learn more about it. Or if you wanted to, if you are a parent and you want to take out a loan, a parent loan, to help cover whatever the financial aid that you have does not cover, you know, the Kane Central office is where you'd end up calling. We have financial aid specialists, we have registrar specialists, we have student account specialists that are all within Kane Central that can guide you on any aspect of this. So you do have time to get this done. I wouldn't hold on for too long. If you do need to apply for a loan, take some time to get those things processed. So I would encourage you to start working on that now. And if you have any questions, you call Kane Central at the 305-284-IBIS, or contact them via the email that you're going to end up seeing at the end of this slide. But I do encourage you, as a wrap up, every one of you are going to end up benefiting. Even if your parents do give you some financial advice, you're going to learn so much from our Money Talk series that, and you won't regret it. You know, we're going to help you become your best financial self and make your life and your future goals become more of a reality than they would be if you didn't participate and start developing this knowledge and learning about these critical life skills. With that being said, I'm going to now pass it back over to Mr. Bobby Gallagher. And I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions, like I said, our contact information is going to be at one of the last slides for the money management program for our office, for the Kane Central office. And I look forward to seeing you at a Money Talks in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. I'm going to just mention a student organization that we have on campus called First Generation U. As you may be aware, there are a lot of student organizations on campus that are very easy for students to join, and there's different organizations for just about anything you could think of. First Gen U was founded by the girl pictured right here, Crystal Lamb, in 2016. And it's a student organization for First Gen students that was formed to build community, talk about experiences as First Gen students. And they hold programs, attend conferences, have events, they have an e-board. And they're advised by Multicultural Student Affairs, but have a close relation to us at EMF and the Office of Academic Enhancement. So this is one of the many great organizations to consider checking out. And you can find them online, and feel free to shoot them an email if you have any questions. And now we'll head back to Whitley for a little bit more helpful information and some concluding thoughts.
Again, thank you all for joining us. We did want to be able to tell you a little bit about how you as family members can support. So we do understand that not every first generation student at the U is coming straight from high school. Some of you are transfer students. Some of you are also continuing students, adult learners with spouses. But one thing to note is, especially as we're also in the midst of dealing with the pandemic, is if your student is physically on campus, or maybe if you are in the same household and there's not a whole lot of communication throughout the day, maybe that student has multiple classes on a Tuesday, Thursday schedule, and it seems like maybe you're not seeing them as often. That can be normal. If your student is on campus and maybe they're not calling every day, that is okay. College is a learning experience for everyone. Students have a lot of varying responsibilities, and learning to balance them within the first year can be a bit challenging, but they do get the hang of it. And there are many of us across the institution to be able to assist and help encourage them with that. Pursuing higher education doesn't mean that your student loses the values that they may have been brought up with. So they're exposed to a lot of different people, a lot of walks of life. We do encourage them to kind of step outside of their comfort zone. And as Christian shared earlier, explore. This is definitely the time to do that, where the demands of maybe a 9-to-5 job doesn't take a lot from them, or where they can explore other cultures and other walks of life. So we encourage that as well. If your student is on campus, care packages are awesome, especially in the midst of midterms and final exams, whether that's index cards and a nice encouraging note. But those go a long way as well. If your student is engaging virtually, just encouragement from time to time, and keeping communication open. So asking how their classes might be going, if they've met new friends, if they're engaging virtually, there will be lots of ways to do that through different student activities that are happening virtually on campus with a variety of departments and student organizations as well. So you will be able to find this handout for tips as well on our website. So in conclusion, here is our contact information, and we also have another slide for you that has all of our contact information and ways to engage with us. But I just want to emphasize, we are a community. The University of Miami is highlighted as one of the top institutions, as a first forward institution that provides excellent support for its first generation students. We're very proud of our program. We're a very young program and being 4 years old, but we have a dynamic impact that spans across all of our campuses. So we're super excited to engage with you all and your student. If at all you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. There are a number of ways that you can engage with us, whether it be by email with your questions, or phone, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or also engaging on our website. You'll find a variety of helpful information there. And we also encourage you to encourage your student to engage with us in those ways as well. It has been a pleasure speaking with you all. Today, we look forward to engaging with you and your students soon, whether it be on campus or virtually, and we're excited for an awesome year. Welcome to the U, and go Canes.